I'm going to be returned.
All right, good morning, everybody. We will start with the Capital Resource Corporation. And as usual, there's a long agenda. We'll be going in and out of meetings. So the draft minutes of February 7th. Motion to approve.
I move that we approve. Did you explain?
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. I need a motion to go into abeyance to go to the committee reports.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now we are at the audit committee, which we have the minutes of February 7th. 2023. Motion? Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Now we have the audit and related correspondence. It's the same as other years. There. Oh, sorry.
This will be.
First, we want to welcome Matt Vanderbeck and Nicole Overbach from UHY. They have done our audit, and we're really grateful to them and their team for getting this done quickly and on budget. And Matt and Nicole will give a report now.
Thank you. Yeah, so basically the audit that we performed was for the year ended December 31st, 2022. If you look at, there was a draft circulated of the financial statements and a required communication letter. Really, there wasn't any activity this year in the CRC, so there's no revenue. There's about $3,500 in expenses, which are covered by a contribution from the CEDC. So in our report, we indicate that presently, because of the lack of activity and what you have on the balance sheet as far as cash, there's an emphasis of matter just indicating that you have continued dependence on those contributions from the CDC until you have the ability to raise revenue. So when you look at the balance sheet at this point in time, at the end of December 31st, 2022, there's $591 on the balance sheet. So there was about $4,700 in expenses this year, $3,600 in revenue. So you had a net decrease in net assets of $1,100. So the audit went fine, no findings, no unusual transactions, and that would be the extent of our report.
Do you have any questions? Thank you. I need a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any public comment? Motion to close the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Go to Governance Committee. The minutes of February 7th. Motion to approve.
So moved.
We're all busy today.
So second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The statement of internal controls. Any comments on that? And again, need a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any public comment? There are none. Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
We'll go back to, we need a motion to open the meeting again. No. We are back to the consent agenda. Do we do those separately again?
No, you
You can do them all together.
All together, all right. If I can have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Now we're at the Paris report review. Actually, right now, because we didn't have the financials, we filled in, and once it's done, we'll submit it to the agent. So it just goes, that part goes over your compliance. So it goes over, we tagged the reports we have to do, we go over the board information. And the employees, which aren't in, and you'll see there's nothing there for the financials, I don't have that yet, because we just got presented to that. So you don't have to approve it, it's just
okay.
that you're just seeing it, first time I'm seeing it, thank you, all right. If they have one,
Sharing one here.
all right, I'll distribute
You
the
can
final
have it.
ones. No, I bet, there was two.
There's one CRC, one's.
Oh, thank you, okay. Administrative Director's Report.
This is for CDC or
No, CRC.
CRC. You know, we are still looking at a couple of not-for-profit projects in the county that you know may have may benefit from using the CRC. You know, one is the Shake Your Museum project. The other is the Community Forum project in Hudson. You know, again, large arts not-for-profit, and again, we have been in discussions with the hospital to, you know, make them aware again of the benefits that we can provide. Now that IDAs can't do not-for-profit projects, we have the CRC. So I think, again, it would be a larger not-for-profit project that would benefit from this as opposed to a smaller project that the cost of going through the bond issuance and the legal fees associated with going through the CRC wouldn't be cost effective.
Yeah, I still feel it's worth it to keep it going. I don't feel that there's definitely potential out there, and there certainly are large arts groups. Certainly. All right, any public comments? Hearing none, a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Open the meeting of the IDA. Which we have the draft minutes. Where is it? Well, the only thing I saw that in the CRC, we listed the slate of directors, and this one we didn't list the slate of directors, but it's by name. I don't know if that's important or not. Okay. Anything else? Motion to approve.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, now motion to go in abeyance to discuss the consent, the committees to go. The committee meetings. I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now we are at the audit committee. Which we have the minutes.
Master Sarah, do you want me to go through the?
Yeah.
Financial
Oh.
statements.
And I'll amend and revise my
You wanna go
introduction
through
from the
the
last
minutes
meeting.
I need approval of minutes first.
Okay.
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, now.
say something.
I will reintroduce them for the record. Go ahead.
Thank you. So we are here today to go through the 2022 financial statements and any observations that we have from the audits for the IDA. So we also provided the financial statements and the required communication letter. Overall, there were no findings, no issues that we had identified during the audit, so no control related matters. We had a couple of minor audit adjustments that we had, which were considered minor, that were included in the one letter. That's just part of the year-end process of kind of going through the close and looking at what management has done to close the books. So nothing significant there. Overall, from a transaction perspective, there was one land transaction that the IDA was able to administer for the county. It was a land sale of about $90,000, and then the net proceeds of $88,000 were remitted back to the county, and you basically facilitated that transaction, or not to the CEDC. I'm sorry. So the funds were remitted to the CEDC. You had your typical pilot revenue that you generate each year. This year it was $45,000, which was more than it was the year before, which was $35,000. So you actually generated a $6,900 increase in your net position. So with this financial statement, we also indicate in our report that you have a certain dependence potentially on related party financing to the extent you need it. You haven't needed it, I think, these last 2 years that we present. So you've been able to generate enough income to cover the costs that you've incurred and any other activity that we're talking about. But we still indicate in here that you have that future uncertainty. It's all depending on how many projects and the activity that you generate going forward. So the ability to generate some cash this year, about $8,000 from operations. So your balance sheet, which is on page 8 of the financial statements, you have $73,800 of assets. Again, this is an increase from $72,800 from the year before. $52,000 of that in cash. Yeah, so there's really no other matters in particular we need to go through. Any questions? Otherwise, we're going through the financial statements.
All right.
I
Any
move we
questions?
approve the audit. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any public comments? Hearing none, we have a motion to adjourn the audit committee meeting. I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. The governance committee, we have the minutes of February 7th.
Make a motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Statement of internal controls. I need a motion for those.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion for public comments. You have anybody? Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Right. And we are back to the consent agenda. I will need a motion in a second.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And now the Paris report review.
Anything, no finances, finance. Change before I get everything in. Sorry. Structure and all the compliance that you've done before. A little better after I get it done.
Oh, thank you very much. This is Always a lot of work every year. Yeah, with that. Administrative Director's Report.
First of all, I want to again thank Matt and Nicole and their team at UHY for their work on the audit this year. And I think it went smoothly and again, timely. Also, I want to point out a flyer that I put at your desk. The New York State Economic Development Council is hosting their annual IDA Academy. It is at the Culinary Institute in Hyde Park. There will be a reception the evening before at the FDR Presidential Library and Museum. And the program is on Tuesday, April 11th, and I provided you with the agenda. They do have a rate where we can get 5 people for a discount. We're going to offer this to anyone from the county IDA as well as the city of Hudson IDA to attend, along with Jessica and hopefully myself. If you could let us know if you're interested by the end of the week, we can get registered before the seminars get sold out.
Yeah, it's a good way to get your board member training done too. So I'm gonna go.
And I gave you the agenda so that, if you can't go for the whole day because we're getting the discounted group rate or anticipate getting that, you could pop in for whatever sessions you think might be of interest to you. And, I do think that it is a useful exercise. And at the same time, we also know it's a big commitment for a volunteer position. So, and whoever doesn't go, we'll do a brief presentation of what was presented at the conference at the May meeting. We are still encouraged by the conversations with Redburn Development on their affordable housing project in town of Greenport. We've had a couple of other general inquiries about projects, but I don't have any new projects to report. Are there any questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right, do we have any other questions, comments, reports?
I just want to take a moment and thank Lisa and Kat for their work in putting together these Paris reports. They're tedious, and the state doesn't really give you the opportunity to upload things or data enter. It's all manual entry and processing. And also thank Jessica for her work in overseeing a lot of the IDA activities. We have Chris Brown with us, who's our affordable housing coordinator. I think you may have met him at the last meeting, but he was just getting started. And also Martha and Steve Vandenberg, who have been working on loans, and they have some exciting news from the SBA that our annual grant allocation is going to be increased from $232,000 to $275,000. They did a little bit of an analysis and showed that CEDC and the SBA loan fund over the last 8 years has done over $4 million in loans, benefiting approximately 160 companies with 5 to 7 year loans through the program. And I think we're going to continue to monitor and market that information to demonstrate that CEDC is not just the facilitator of development projects and managing IDAs, but also providing direct benefit through loan programs and the technical assistance that's provided with those programs to businesses in the county. So we're very excited about that. Finally, the CEDC annual meeting, marketing will go out today or tomorrow, is on Tuesday, April 25th at 7:30 at Kozos. And we have Dr. Dorothy Urchel, the president of Columbia Memorial Hospital. Started in January in that position as our keynote speaker. And her topic is going to be the intersection of healthcare, affordable housing, and workforce development. So we're going to be a great program, and we're hoping that you'll all be able to attend. Are there any questions? Thank you very much.
Motion to adjourn.
So
Thanks, Matt.
You're welcome.
Great. Well, thank you all very much. I hope, glad you got in here before the snow. I'm glad this wasn't tomorrow morning.
Yeah, this is.
We do have a Hudson IDA meeting on Wednesday morning, but, by then the plows will be out. They don't have as far to travel.
You mean here?
You didn't show up.
Yes.
Good.